All right, this is likely to be an incredible change of pace from the last Pauper deck we played, in which we played 4 games in an hour and 40 minutes. We've got Goblin Bushwhackers to give our things extra power and haste. We got a bunch of miscellaneous goblins here. We've got some Keldon Marauders. We've got some Mogg War Marshal. We have Giant Baiting here, which says create a 4/4 red-green giant warrior with haste. Exile at the beginning of the next end step, and you can conspire, so you can tap 2 untapped creatures you control that share a color with this spell if you do copy it. So if you tap 2 red creatures, you get to make 2 4/4s with haste, which is pretty sweet. Why not just play Burn? I don't know. Is Burn supposed to be better than this? Again, I'm trusting people who have submitted decks to not give me awful decks because I don't have experience playing this format. So this is what I've been submitted, so it's what we're going to play. Isn't Giant Baiting on camera against the Twitch terms of service? I guess we'll find out. Please don't report me. Oh yeah, and I put a bunch of mismatched basic and white border mountains in here because I am a man of culture. I have one more Pauper deck that we're gonna play at some point, probably next week. Maybe we'll make it elves. I would love to play first with my 20 basic mountains. This hand seems awful. It's got Thunderous Wrath in the opener. I guess it goes Burning Tree into Dragon Fodder, but I don't have any 1-drop either, so I'm going to take a mulligan, I think. Yeah, this hand also seems terrible. I think I'm ditching a land. So the question is, do I pay for this next turn? Probably not. I probably just want to play this other Mogg War Marshal. Yeah, but like the Tron deck in this format, Bob, is closer to like blue Tron overall, as opposed to like mono green Tron. They just crop rotated into their Tron piece. I said, and as I say that, I think this is actually a Tron deck that's closer to mono green Tron. I think crop rotation usually implies that they're a little bit more all in. So, I mean, I've got 10 points of damage in my hand, right? Like I'm attacking for 4 next turn. Like this puts them to 12, and then I've got these two, which put them at a virtual 5. Need to get in 2 more good shots here. And like there aren't Karns and Ugins in this format, right? Ulamog's Crusher, 8/8 Annihilator 2, attacks each combat if able. Probably, no, I think they're playing, it looks like they're playing Greentron Cardbreaker, so I don't think I need to play around counter spells. Are they dead? This is lethal, right? So they block one of our baits. They take 6. We Fire Blast them. One could argue we were a master at giant baiting. It's a lost art that many don't understand anymore. Oh, I should Fire Blast and kill the Crusher, right? Because it blocks a 4/4, and then Fire Blast does 4 damage to it. I would like some Molten Rains. I think it's just Molten Rain here. Maybe you could make an argument for Smash to Smithereens. Maybe. Trim Hearth Charm. Some other random card. Alright, let's do it. Yeah, if we were playing against, like, the multicolored Tron deck, I think Smash and, like, Gorilla Shaman for their various artifact rocks that fix their colors is good. But I think of the mono green version, I don't really want those effects. I mean, I think Smash is just, like, better than Bolt. Maybe Smash is just better than Bolt. The Thunderous Wrath in the opener kind of sucks, but, like, this 6 is pretty good, right? If I, like, look at all the cards that aren't Thunderous Wrath. Tron. Well, you see Frenzied Goblins in a frenzy, but not that kind of frenzy. That's a good draw. So next turn, we're attacking for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A scale of 1 to dead opponent, how are you feeling? Hopefully you're feeling on the dead side of the scale. So, Frenzied Goblin here makes something not be able to block, which is pretty sweet, especially with their giant baitings. Veil of Summer and Painter's Servant. That sounds great. Yeah, I mean, Veil of Summer just sounds great in Legacy in general. It's like Brainstorm the format. You know, not quite the miracle we were hoping for, but, you know, kind of a miracle all the same. They gonna kill one of my things here? Yeah, I'm not gonna try and kill them with Fire Blast unless they're tapped out. Moment's Peace. Yep. So, for people who have never experienced true misery before, you think Nexus in Standard is bad? This is a 2-mana fog that flashes back, which means you recast it from your graveyard for 3. It's like a whole different level of misery. Thangren Marauder, sure. Into Chromatic Star. Whenever an artifact is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, gain 5 life. Gain 5 life. Swings bigger than you'll find on a Giant's Playground, chat. Into gain 9. Yikes. Yikes. Sometimes they want it more than you do. And it's okay. You just got to move on to the next game where you get to be on the play. It's garbage time. You don't have to go home, but you can't play here. Do 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 do. Alright, apparently there's someone at my door that needs to be insert stage ringing again. Be right back. Mental note. When someone rings the doorbell twice, it's a Jehovah's Witness. Don't answer it. Oh. Should invite them to play Pauper and talk to Twitch about Jehovah. To be fair, that would probably be the most people they'd ever spoken to at the same time. Ooh, that's a good one. It's a pretty good start on the play here for us. We had a mulligan basically with this Thunderous Wrath again. These two Wraths have been just like glued to our opening hand, unfortunately. So we're attacking for 3 here, and then next turn we're attacking for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to put them to 8, and then I have a Fire Blast. Just cast Brainstorm, put it back on top of the deck. That is a legal card in this format. The sub badges are 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and then every year after 12 months. Oh no! So this is going to die, which deals 1 damage when it dies, so they go to 7. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Fire Blast. So they had Natty-Tron, which might be bad for us here. They have the Marauder. Don't play an artifact you can just sacrifice for free. I think we're 1 point of damage short here, right? So this puts them to 7. If I pay to keep this, they block the 2, and then they take 3 and go to, no, wait, that's lethal, right? So they take 1. Yeah, okay, so we have them dead if we pay for the Mogwar Marshal. So this puts them to 7. And then they take 3 and we Fire Blast for lethal. Oh, I could have also played that for 1 more point of damage, right? Whatever. Thunderous Wrath has been a little awkward. Fire Blast, however, is most excellent. That's a good clean turn 4 kill on the play. Quality mono red beatdown things. God, this card just won't get out of our opening hand. I mean, this card's great in our deck. Like, with 2 of them, they theoretically shouldn't be in your opening hand every game, right? I would encourage you as a Magic player to just take the words strictly better and just eliminate them from your vocabulary. Just completely get rid of them. Is it crazy to bottom the Fire Blast here? Because, like, I get to go Neonate on 1 into BTE Marauders on 2. Because I can't play Bushwhacker off the Burning Tree Emissary. I think I'm supposed to put the Fire Blast back. Should have gotten greedy and bottomed a mountain, chat. Could be elves. There's also a mono green Stompy deck in this format that plays Nettle Sentinel, like a lot of combat tricks and stuff. No blocks. 2 forests is definitely not L's. Are we dead? I think we're dead, right? I'm gonna... Yes, I guess I have a 3-3. I guess. Okay, we'll give it the college try here, I suppose. I mostly don't mean we're dead by them attacking. It feels like we're pretty dead, just like in that how do we ever win this game? Hey, Nivik, DM me your preferred pauper deck, and I'll make that my 5th dealer's choice one. Tell me what you want to see. And the last one can be one of your choosing. Just keep in mind that the hope of Pauper being continued to play on this channel depends on what you submit, so. No pressure. I think we're just attacking for 4 here, obviously, because we can't block. And then we're cashing in this to try and find a bolt to kill one of these. It's a lot of pressure and I'm scared. Well, I guess it won't just be your deck. It's going to be your deck plus the other 4 we've played. Which, like, and again, this is like what happened with the Underlords content too. Like, the first video of the Underlords content, the first couple did really well, and the first couple Pauper decks did really well, but the last one had kind of bad viewer count. So we'll see how this one does in the last one. I think Giant Baiting's probably bad here. I think a lot of the time they're probably going to have blockers. Yeah, honestly, it seems like a lot of the Pauper decks are really click intensive, which if that's the norm for the format, I just think it doesn't make for good Magic Online content, unfortunately. Like, the format seems neat, but like, you know, is it a good content format is one of the questions. See, feels like a lot of the things that take a while in this format on Magic Online would be fine in paper. Just because of like the natural shortcutting you can do in paper, but online it gets a little tedious, it feels like. Code Junkie, thank you for the 3/4 of your support. I appreciate that. Welcome. They were supposed to put out a patch on Monday, Pikes, and they didn't. I don't think that's strictly true, Ghosted. Like, Magic Online's definitely, like, on a feature-to-feature comparison, like, slower and clunkier than Arena. But, like, remember, people like me and Caleb and Newmont, we've been doing full-time Magic content since before Arena even existed. I mean, to be fair there, Pickle Bolas, your specific complaint in that instance isn't even about how Magic Online works. It's about its lack of one very specific integration feature. And for the record, I agree, like, being able to mouse over cards on Magic Online would make it way more accessible to a lot of people. Pretty much all the decks that I play, Code Junkie, are off of the deck queue on my website. So pretty much just play that from the top down. All the content here is pretty much viewer powered. Hey, welcome, Kin. Yeah, I feel like a matchup like this seems like it's just their deck is just like incredibly favored against what we're doing. Like their creatures are just a little bit bigger than ours, and they have combat tricks and stuff too. Nice, Pythrion, congrats. Yeah, I agree, Bonnie. It wouldn't make Magic Online pretty, but I think there's a lot of people who play cards that don't need Magic Online to be pretty. They just need to be able to, like, easily access what the cards do. Yeah, I guess I have a grenade and a fire blast here. Are they dead next turn? What are the odds they die next turn? So this gives attacking creatures 1 attack. So that's 6. 6 plus 5 plus 4 is 15. So if I draw a bolt, they die. I'm gonna not pay for the Mogwar Marshal here. I guess they could also block. This is hexproof, so I can't make it not block with this. I guess they could also play a green spell here. And like untap these Nettle Sentinels. Yeah. Let's get on to the next one here. And that's typically how these aggro matchups go. Being a little bit bigger in the creature matchup tends to mean you're ahead. So the fact that, like, we have a bunch of 1/1s and they have a bunch of 2/2s means that their deck's going to be favored on average a lot of the time. I guess we're gonna find out if my mail forwarding from my old house is still in effect. It might not be. I ordered some Warhammer cards to play at an event at Gen Con next week, and I forgot to update my shipping address on TCG Player. So hopefully I end up getting those. It's like, hadn't used TCG Player in years. Maybe Card Breaker. I don't think it really matters overall. Yeah. Yeah, Mueller testifying before Congress is a sad state of affairs. In a country that didn't have Fox News acting as basically a state news propaganda mouthpiece, and didn't have people like William Barr spinning the contents of the report, and we had an average IQ of people that could read and understand what was written in that report. They're basically just putting him up there and making him repeat what he's already written down because people haven't actually read it, and they'll be able to they'll listen to sound bites from him in Congress. Probably some pile of order cards, Snuggle Bear. I'm not going to take it too seriously. It's like a $20 tournament. But I was like $10 of cards off of like 2 different decks I had in my deck editor. So I ordered stuff and some cards that seemed like good sideboard cards. I like playing Achillean Barrier Guard and Righteousness. They're both cards that I like in that game. So I'm probably going to play something that has both of those. I mean, there were a lot of places that posted really key TLDRs, Trevor. That like highlighted the actual findings and stuff like that. That's true. CSI is one of the sponsors. They do a Pupper League every Thursday night now. Yeah, that too, Spy. Seems pretty good. We get to go Denizen into Fodder attack for 3, into Bushwhacker attack for 9. We won the die roll like a professional. One slippery boy, chat. One slippery boy. Do they have a lifelink enchantment in this format? Is there a lifelink enchantment in this format? We're gonna find out here in a second, I think. Spirit Link is the card. I actually thought it was weird they didn't name the mechanic Spirit Link when they coined Lifelink, just because we had an enchantment that did that. They play Armadillo Cloak. Yep. Well, if they don't have a cloak, we have a chance. If they have a cloak, we're probably dead, so. So next turn, we're attacking for up to 9. Probably just going to play Keldon Marauders unless we draw another 1-drop. That's a giant baiting. Do we just do that? We'd probably just do that, huh? They're down to 9. Oh, no. 2-2 and Lifelink. How do we ever beat Lifelink is cheating, chat. Lifelink is cheat. Alright, hopefully we draw a land to get to go Marauder into Bushwhacker. One could argue we were a master at giant beating, chat. One could argue. Do 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 do. Pew do 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 do. Pew pew. It's a good die roll to win, chat. It's a good die roll to win. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Do 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 do. Yeah, Nivik, running straw polls to find out what people want to watch is a lot like asking Christy what she wants for dinner. You just never get a straight answer. Now they board in. We get to board in Electrickeries, so like that's not terrible. How much longer on this deck? This is match 3, so we've got 2 more after this. Probably a half hour, 45 minutes or so, depending on how long they take. Giant Beating saw some standard play back in the day, right? I wasn't playing competitively then, so I never really played Constructed. I have Electrickery in my opener, so I'm going to keep this. Fred the Third, thank you for the 15 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. We're having a good one. Oh no! They gave their Bogle more toughness. Yeah, Electricary's overload gets around hexproof. Unfortunately, we're gonna concede to Armadillo Cloak next turn. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time to play against the life linking Bogle. Probably not, Reaper. It's very likely going to be a best of one format. We'll see. It'll depend on what standard looks like. If standard is reasonable, I generally have enough standard submissions to fill my arena content full-time with standard stuff. If standard ends up being mediocre, we'll probably venture into Brawl. We'll also have Historic in the fall, which while it's not going to have the card pool we really wanted, that's something to play too, potentially. His hand doesn't have any of our sideboard cards in it, but it's just really aggressive on the play, so I think we keep it. Yeah, the Underlords content just wasn't very popular for me, Cordemi. And the latest patch didn't really click for me. I'll probably revisit it again at some point, but the Underlords content isn't popular enough to the point where, like, if I'm not really enjoying it, it's just not worth playing. Because, like, when I'm streaming Underlords, I'm basically, like, I'm effectively not working when I'm streaming Underlords, right? It's fun time. I've just been playing more Overwatch and Killing Floor in my spare fun time. Search your library for an aura, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Yep. Hello, Armadillo Cloak. Lifelink, sure. Actually, let's wait on this, because I can play both of these next turn. Yeah, I agree, Rolf. Just having more choices in general is good. Magic is a great game because of all the different formats you can play with it. This is the part where they put a lifelink and an Armadillo Cloak on here, or a lifelink and other auras, and we just die. Ancestral Mask, yep. 7/7 lifelink hexproof, yep. Do they have any outs here? They're at 21, effectively. I mean, even if I draw the vampire, right? Like, what does the vampire do? I don't even have a card in my hand to discard to the vampire. Let's try one more. This deck seems a little meh. If I Fire Blast my own blocker, they take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they go to 8, and then they gain a bunch of life on the backswing. I would put money on multiplayer never coming to Arena, or not for a very long time at the very least. More than 2 players requires a huge overhaul to how the core engine of the game works. From a software perspective, it is an incredibly large hurdle. Nice, Larry. Yeah, the Yarok field deck seems like it's ahead against the other Scapeshift, against the other field decks, which is nice. Yeah, I think I would be surprised if the amount of additional revenue 3+ player games would generate is worth the amount of technical time spent creating that as a possibility. That's not how programming works, Prime. You don't just copy and paste code from your application written by a different company, written likely in a different programming language, into your other one. Hey, Trax, thanks for the raid. Hope you had a good stream this morning. Welcome, welcome. I would be very, I think that assumption is very bad. I think that assumption drastically underestimates how much effort it will take to implement that type of thing into it. Hey, Bad Tinker, thanks for the 12 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Nice, Trex. Well, it can't. In order to make a comeback, it would have had to have been there to start, Fam Squid. So, Brawl is making its initial appearance on Arena, is what we're talking about. I like the Yarok field deck a lot. I think it's really good. The Arcane adaptation is whatever, too cute, but the rest of the deck is very reasonable. We are hitting them for a good chunk this turn. You're not wrong. Pristine talismans. They get to gain a life every turn. There's a few black sweepers in this format, right? The Yarok field that we're going to play today doesn't have Arcane adaptation in it, but it has one Jace and one Nexus. I could have hit for another 10. Use your words, BJ Roth. Be an adult. Tell me how. Don't just tell me I messed up. Help me actually learn. What has Convoke? What? Nothing in my hand has Convoke. Nothing in my hand has Convoke. Take a 10-minute break. This has Conspire, which is not Convoke. This has Conspire. Yeah, Evinkar's Justice, right? It's a 4 mana, deal 2 to everything, including players, if I recall correctly. Yeah, it has buyback. Core Skyfisher, yep. That's a 2/3. Conspire. So Conspire is this really weird mechanic. When you cast this spell, so you have to cast it, so it requires you to still pay the mana. You then tap 2 untapped creatures you control to copy this spell. So basically, if we pay 3 and tap 2 creatures, we get 2 4/4s with haste. Oh, look. my opponent playing their deck with this card that taps to gain 1 just played a main deck card that gained them 9 life. I'm off it. Let's go play some standard. This deck, and again, like that's the frustrating part about like not knowing what's good in this format, and just kind of trusting people to like give me deck lists. Is like, I don't know if we ran bad or if I played bad or if I mulliganed poorly or if like this deck's just not very good. It could be any of the above options for why we had a bad run that league, but a lot of those games did not feel close and they felt incredibly hopeless. Just did not feel like what we were doing was ultimately very powerful in the format. Yeah, there's a lot of infinite combo decks in this format. In fact, the last Pauper deck we played was an infinite combo deck, but a lot of the infinite combo decks are incredibly tedious to click through. All right, let's play some video games and play some standard. There isn't really a meta list ever life. It doesn't, what you're asking about doesn't exist. There were like 3 different iterations of Bant Scapeshift that top 16 the last event. 3 or 4, maybe even more than that. Laser Gun Pew Pew, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Other than mono green, aggros felt really rough in this Pauper format because of all the fogs and life gaining. Yeah, and like, I'm just like assuming, like I said, I just can't know why we're having bad runs, right? I don't know that I'm going to dedicate enough energy and time to Pauper, especially with how tedious some of the decks are in the format. Yeah, I'm not sure that Pauper is going to have a lasting impact here. We'll see though. If the videos aren't at least as popular as Modern, it's probably not going to be something that becomes a mainstay. Everyone I know who plays Pauper only plays Pauper. Yeah, it seems that wouldn't surprise. I'm sure there's some over